Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is May 30th, 2019. I'm going to give you a moment to read just a couple of the comments that I got from the video that I put up yesterday with regards to notifying you guys of new developments with We Build the Wall. And with that, I submit to you this. If you can't intelligently argue for both sides of an argument, both sides of an issue, then you don't understand the issue well enough to debate or argue it at all. Think about that for a second. If you don't understand both sides of an argument, you really don't have any right arguing either side. It's true. It's true of damn near everything. Even the nonsensical. Even things like these TDA accounts. Because if you don't submerge yourself into the research, and you don't understand where some people have misunderstood, you have no right to be speaking on it at all because you haven't done the research that was necessary in order to argue your side. Let's take Flat Earth, for example. One side is nonsensical to most, but yet there are reasons, fundamental reasons, whether it be lack of education, lack of understanding of that education, or not doing their own actual research themselves, that make them believe that way. And if you don't understand the way that someone thinks or why they think that way, how they got to the conclusion that they're at, you can't effectively argue your side. Okay, so why are you bringing this up, Virgo? I was shocked yesterday. 45 minutes after the report came out at 4:10 Eastern Time yesterday, with regards to the statement that was made by CNN's news channel regarding the wall, having to cease and desist on construction of the wall for the We Build the Wall group, I had a statement up, a video ready, and I provided all of the information with regards to that report. But not before I did one single thing, which is why it took 45 minutes for me to get the video up. Because let's face it, the video wasn't even 10 minutes long. I called. However, simply because I used the first report that came out before I made that actual call, these are the type of comments that I received. If you're not listening to both sides of the arguments, ladies and gentlemen, your opinion is just that, your opinion. And it diminishes your capacity to be able to argue what your beliefs and your opinions and your facts are, and it makes you look ignorant. That's just the simple fact. It doesn't matter whether you like it, don't like it. As a matter of fact, the more you don't like what someone else is saying, the more you should pay attention to it. If it is soliciting in you an anger, or it's soliciting in you a feeling of uncomfortableness, you should listen to it more carefully. This channel is about, and always has been about, busting scams and con artists and exposing them for what they are. It's also about warning people of potential scams. This is not a political channel. As a matter of fact, I think the majority of you know that I'm an independent. You guys actually have absolutely no idea what I believe or don't believe from a personal standpoint. And you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm capable of keeping my bias out of this. I have to. Otherwise, I'm not telling you things that are honest, and that is absolutely what I've dedicated myself to do. For those of you that are angry because I am reporting on the We Build the Wall project, for whatever reason, whether it's because you're worried, because you've donated, whether it's because you're angry, because you don't understand why things are going the way that they are, whether it's because you're opposed to it, whether it's because you're for it and you see it as being blocked at every angle. I encourage you to challenge yourself to at least listen to all sides of an argument, no matter what the argument is, so that you yourself can be more informed and more educated. And you need to start actually taking a look at things from your own standpoint. Okay, so Virgo says that they didn't have proper permits. I think I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call and see whether they did and just verify her story. That's all I've ever encouraged any of you to do. Having said that, I'm going to move on to this morning's story. LRN of Miami, South Florida is reporting that the state of Florida has launched an investigation into the group trying to privately build the border wall. I promised you that I was going to keep you up to date with this. I promised you that whatever I did was going to be vetted, and I promised you, as with everything else, that if this turned out to be a scam, I would notify you, and if it turned out to be legitimate, I would notify you. And in terms of my opinion, I would always let you know it is only my opinion if that was the case. In every single instance, I have done that. This is not my opinion. This is what is happening. Florida launches investigation into group trying to privately build the border wall. The state of Florida has officially launched an investigation into the group that raised over $23 million online, which is actually not totally accurate unless that's counting ones that were sent in by mail. We're still only at 22 million, I believe, just over 22 million, in a stated effort to privately build President Trump's proposed border wall on the U.S.-Mexico border. In response to consumer complaints, including those referred by the Office of Attorney General, the Department of Agriculture, the Consumer Service has opened an investigation into this charity. Department of Agriculture spokeswoman Franco Ripple told WLRN in an email.
The law that prohibits anti-Semitism.
WLRN Newsroom, I'm Luis Hernandez. A few months ago, a veteran in Miramar launched a GoFundMe page for a group called We Build the Wall. The goal was to raise money for President Trump's proposed wall on the Mexican border. Here's founder Brian Colfage in a video about what happened after he launched the fundraiser.
People were giving their money to fund the wall. We're getting millions and millions and millions of dollars in donations in days.
Well, the group raised over $20 million and just broke ground last weekend in New Mexico. The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services confirmed to WLRN that it has officially launched an investigation into the charity. The department has jurisdiction over nonprofits incorporated in Florida. A spokesperson says the agency received consumer complaints against We Build the Wall and that complaints were also filed with the Florida Attorney General's office. We Build the Wall was originally going to transfer the money to the federal government, but Colfage later changed his mind and said his group would build the wall itself. WLRN could not immediately reach him for comment.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. There's a whole article on this. I'm going to link this in the description. For those of you that are angry because these things are occurring with We Build the Wall, There is a reason why building permits are a necessity. It's for safety purposes. It's because of the fact that when you're building things, you're looking at water lines, you're looking at all kinds of different things that could potentially get damaged. When you say it doesn't matter, it does matter. You can't just willy-nilly go off, digging 4 or 5 or 6 feet into the ground without knowing if you are cutting off someone's electricity, cutting off someone's water. I mean, I really am having a difficult time understanding why anybody would think that it's okay. Oh, just slap up the wall. Just do it. It doesn't matter. And the city should shut up, because just because you didn't fill out the proper paperwork, or just because you didn't have prior authority from the city, well, hell, this is private property. On that private property, there is a water main. I'm sorry, but I'm just not understanding. Leaving comments stating that, I have some sort of an issue because I read to you the very first report that was out. I did that after verifying it to ensure that I got the video up as rapidly as possible. But there were numerous news sources that had things up within minutes of that first article. Shooting the messenger has always been a huge issue. But if you're going to be so thin-skinned and trigger-happy that you're going to shoot the messenger that has done everything possible to try to ensure that I've vetted the story, I've confirmed it so that this way you guys don't have to call unless you choose to do so. And I encourage you to do your own research. I give you all the sourced and verified links that I can locate on a subject. I keep you up to date to as close to the minute as possible and still be able to vet things and verify them. And I realize that some comments are coming from trolls, but I got some comments from subscribers. And I know that my subscribers are very intelligent people. I know that you all know that if I am saying, watch this group, there is a reason that I'm saying it. I'm seeing a pattern. Something that could potentially harm those people that have put out good hard-earned money to try to erect something they strongly believe in. And it doesn't matter whether I believe in it or not. What matters is that my fellow human beings within an online community that I care about could possibly be getting hurt behind someone else's ill will. I don't agree with a lot of people, but I care about all of them.